Council, January 21st, 2026 at 6 o'clock p.m. to order. I'm going to read this to the benefit of people in the gallery. Today's meeting is being streamed live on the Town of Annapolis Royal YouTube channel. So for those present in the gallery today, by attending the public meeting of the council, you are consenting to having your image, voice, and comments recorded. Anyone who is invited to speak will be recorded and their voice, image, and comments will form part of the live stream. The chair and or the CAO have the discretion and authority at any time to direct the termination or interrupting of live streaming. Such direction will only be given in exceptional circumstances when deemed relevant, and we've never run into such exceptional circumstances. So I'd like to welcome today, we have Alex Clanton, First Deputy Chief, and David Bright, Second Deputy Chief, here with us. And Roger Lindella, our token member of the public, is here. Okay, sorry, our mascot, mascot.
I'm sure that's better.
I'm sorry, I am
The
trying.
kind gentleman who attends every meeting.
Well, to make it worse, I have found an excerpt of the Thursday, September 17, 1953 excerpt from the Annapolis Spectator relating to the fire department. A letter was read from the Annapolis Royal Fire Department stating that due to lack of interest and financial support, the department would be obliged to discontinue the practice of giving fire protection to out-of-town districts after December 1st, 1953.
Oh,
But you know what?
apparently that got flipped.
Yeah, this is a good thing. So all members of council are present, including Roger, and there's no absence. In terms of additions to the agenda, there is one to the in-camera part. And under contract negotiations, thank you. A little bit minutes and in camera. If there are no changes to the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. We have at present no disclosure of conflict of interest issues. There is one change to the council minutes of December 17th, 2025, and our representative will give, from AVRL will give that.
Yes, so under the report from AVRL, in the first bullet point, if that could be changed from they to the Friends of the Library. That's the only correction to be made. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have presentation this evening from the Annapolis Royal Fire Department regarding the fire rate, the fire area rate, and you have that at tab 2.
Can you just make the motion on that minutes?
The motion on the minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So if there are no other changes to the minutes with that change, we're approving the minutes by unanimous consent. Thank you. We'll move on to item 9, which is presentations, Annapolis Royal Fire Department.
Hi there. Nice to be here. We're here tonight to, I guess, go over our budget and the approval of our budget.
So we're not really approving it tonight, we're just getting the budget so that we can take it to our budget process. So this is the request from the department. And in my RFP, I put in that they had requested a 7% increase, but then they tightened their pencils and it's down to a 2.9.
Much appreciated. So what had happened there was just a lack of communication, and we've got a new finance person that's looking after our stuff, and they weren't aware of the different changes and things that we do, so they just went off a number, and then through conversation that we had with them, it got adjusted down to the 2.0, wasn't it, or
2.7, 2.9.
2.9.
Yeah.
And we totally appreciate that. It's a group of volunteers. And we appreciate the service that we get and totally get that number. Same with the town budget process. You have to start somewhere and then it goes where it needs to go. So you have the RFD, the request for decision before you for the fire rate, referring it to budget. Do you have any questions for the members who are present?
Trying to find the budget. I did have one question. Oh, thank you. So let me just.
Noted.
Yes, don't begrudge you guys anything. I just wanted to understand what entertainment and special events for $18,000 was. But what's in that?
That would be like, I don't even know what that would be, honestly. This is all prepared by our financial department, so to be honest, I have to take that back.
Yeah, that'd be
ask-
okay.
Ask what that all is, the breakdown of it.
Sure,
They just give us this stuff, but we don't actually get the breakdown.
yeah. No, that'd be fine
I can
if
definitely
that,
check in.
yeah.
Just send it to me.
Yeah.
And
I
I'll
can,
share.
I
Great.
can actually break down a lot more of these and let you know.
I think it's
that was the only one that.
something to do with natal day and like the events and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
it's some cost that's
Yeah.
associated with that because the breakfast, the cost of the beer garden that we run and the other things, that's looking like.
Could be one of the.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is. I think it's,
Participation.
that's the biggest chunk of that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, and
We won't confirm that, but we'll definitely
Yeah.
check on it, and I'll let Sandy know
Okay.
exactly what's in that.
Schools maybe
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we
I,
buy-
I appreciate
We
that.
do buy, I know one of our packages for the schools alone is like $2,500.
Yeah.
so.
Thank you, no, that'll just be really helpful, I
Okay.
appreciate
Yep,
that.
that's no-
That was the only question I had.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
Just out of interest, your training budget seems a bit low, like 4,500, like. Does that depend on how many people you're training
It
per
does,
year?
Yeah.
And so is this a projection of
So that would
what
be
you expect people
that
to
would be a
join?
projection of what we have now for members that require our level 1 firefighter training.
Okay, what does that cost per
It's
person?
right now, I couldn't tell you,
Yeah.
because the province is doing a review right now.
Right,
Yeah.
yes,
Up and down, so
Yeah.
at first they were gonna come up with a program, we were gonna have to apply for their program.
Yeah.
Now their program's like possibly 2 years out,
Oh, gee.
so now the county's looking at their own program, so
Yeah.
for example, if you went to the county program, it would be just the cost, so it could be $700-800 a person, if you go to the county, it could be, or sort of the province, it could be 2,000 to 3,000 a person.
Sure,
We really have no idea at this time with this review in place, where it's all over the map.
and,
Yeah.
and just a point of interest too. Are you getting, the unexpected number of volunteers each year to joining the fire
I
department?
actually have, we're off this year, probably 4 to 5 members.
that's great,
I think
Okay.
in 2 years, we're up about 8.
Yeah.
nice.
So our membership sits right now at 37 full-time members.
Very better than
They're
a lot of
solid.
departments.
Okay, good.
You're like, yeah, I think last fiscal year was around 30, so
Yeah.
we are,
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And you're going to be, I understand, providing a report on, number of calls in the county and the
Yeah,
town.
so I wrote down some stuff that I wanted to just fill you guys in on.
Please, go ahead.
While we're here, so, well, the first one was membership, we have 37 full-time members, 3 junior members at this time. 2025 incidents, David does all of our incidents and he has them all total up for 2025. 180 calls total, the county was 150 and the town was 30. And that all totaled for 5,445 hours of firefighter time on all the incidents.
Sorry, how many hours?
5,445 hours.
That's something we should communicate to the public.
And also just a little, the 180 number also came from the big influx during the wildfires that went on, so. How we do our numbers is the 180 was calls for service, and of the 180, 144 were actual emergency calls. So that the 36 was, once we got in a routine out there, it wasn't emergent, it was planned event, so it wasn't like pager going off and it's an emergency. So the number was actually 144 total, and then with 30 in the town, I think I did the percentages, about 21% of the 144 calls were emergency calls in the town of Annapolis.
I think it'd be worth putting something in on the stats that you'd like to see published in the town crier newsletter.
Yep,
Yeah.
I have the report that I'll be sending off to Sandy soon, very soon. And yeah, any of that
Yeah.
could
Well,
definitely,
People need to know.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be good to put that out
Yeah.
to everyone.
yeah, and I have it broke down for the year. In the town, we responded to 1 structure fire. Luckily, it didn't turn out to be anything serious. 2 chimney fires, 2 grass brush fires, 9 fire alarms, 10 medicals, 1 water rescue, and 5 public assistance calls.
Was the water rescue a deer?
No, I think that was a person, but it.
No, there was the real person
Yeah.
behind, yeah.
Luckily, they didn't need to be
Yes, I do
rescued, they
remember that
rescued
one.
themselves, so.
Yeah.
They made it.
Yeah,
Wow, impressive. Guess the deer was lush.
yeah.
So just some purchases that we made from the last year, just to kind of bring you up to speed on what we're doing. We bought a brand new fire boat, integrated in our old one. And we use some of the 50/50 funding money that comes in off of the draws each week. We keep saving it up and make a purchase every once in a while, and this is one of our purchases. We've just purchased 5 new breeding apparatus packs to replace some of our 1990s and early 2000 packs that we have. That are getting out of date and the bottles are now expired, so they should be here in the next couple of weeks, I
Yeah.
believe. We just also purchased with the 50/50 money, I mean, you'll see all this advertised online when it all comes, we'll take a picture of it. New Jaws of Life, so we bought a new cutter, sprinter, and a ram. And we're retiring our gas powered ones, and these are all electric. So they run off their own battery. So they're a lot quicker to start up and go. There's no plugging hoses in and priming an engine and getting it going and running out of gas and having to fill it up. It's all done battery power. I wanted to go over the new truck a little bit. That's still in progress. I talk to Sandy every once in a while about it. It's like you do a little bit and then you're held off for months at a time. Because you're working with builders and chassis are months and months and months out, same as some new cars. You order a new car, it could be a year before you get it. So it's looking like May-ish when we should see the chassis. That's gonna be a brand new chassis. We're taking the tank off of one of our current trucks. We're gonna have that completely refurbished and set on this chassis, so we're gonna build a pumper tanker. So we're gonna essentially eliminate 2 trucks and make 1. So that, for example, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon seems to be our worst time for getting people to come. We're really low on manpower, due to jobs and things like that. So we'll be able to have this 1 truck as a tanker and a pumper, and it'll be able to leave and go first. And do the job of 2 trucks instead of having to get those 2 at the door, we can get 1. So that should help us out quite a bit in our responses.
Excellent.
We chose Jeff Lance, who's a local contractor, in Fort Williams to do the job for us. He's built 3 or 4 of our trucks now. He does an excellent job at them, so he's one of the ones that he'll strip the body down, the bare metal, all the doors, the nuts, bolts, everything, go completely over it, put it all back together piece to piece. So that savings alone is about $150,000.
Wow.
Because it really, an aluminum body and a poly tank, you're just rebuilding the same thing over again. What's the sense if you already have it?
Yeah.
So we're trying to cut costs the best we can with that.
This would be our second one in a row that we've done that with cost, because it's just money out the window if you're not looking to save on things. It doesn't make a lot of sense to replace when you can reuse what you already had.
So this year, for a few things that are coming up, we do have a level 1 course that we're hoping. It's gonna take some work, but we're hoping that the county will put that on. Rather than try to wait for the province for the 2-year wait that it looks like it could be. We have some first aid training and we're gonna do some more medical first response training with other members that are coming through that are interested in it, so we can get some more people going on that. So when EHS calls, we can go to them and respond to the quite a few people rather than just 1 or 2. We're interested in some water rescue training and obviously vehicle extrication courses where we have these new tools. And hopefully we can get refreshed on some of that stuff and work the new tools and get familiar with them. We're used to our old ones. We do have a combination tool which is close to these, but this is all brand new stuff to us. So it'd be nice just to get a couple cars from a local spot and work the tools and figure them out and get used to them. That's some of the training we're thinking about, and we're possibly gonna be purchasing some new coveralls, hard hats, and boots for wildland firefighting. That's one of our next purchases that we have in our minds. That was pretty much all I had to share with you.
And your 180 calls, how many of those would you say are preventable?
Ten percent probably.
10%?
There, yeah, I would say there's definitely our share of negligence calls, and then after the wildfires last year. And it's gonna be, I think, a big tendency going this year is when people see smoke, whether or not someone's doing things properly or not.
Yeah.
That's people's first step now, is just call 911, and it's not always, it's not the worst thing to do, but it's not the best, because if you don't know the situation.
Mhm.
Like, it's, if you see it, okay, let's go drive by and make sure if someone's there watching it. You can look at the burn restrictions if they're doing it safely. Then let's not get 37 people on the road for no reason. And then we're not always looked at in the best way when you show up, because we're like a nuisance to people, even though the whole thing is a nuisance to us, but it's what we do. But it's, yeah, I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing this coming year because of what we've been through, and
People are sensitive.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in 2 out of the 10 calls, or maybe even higher than that, maybe a quarter to a third, probably do prevent something possibly from happening. The other 70% is just someone doing things properly, and there's just someone that's concerned neighbor that sees smoke and
Yeah.
is scared of it, basically, so.
As you get closer to the time, will we be, I was just thinking, we could put like a little article in the town crier, maybe you guys could write
Yeah.
something up for us, and that'd be another way to
Yeah.
get
Certainly,
the news out, right?
yeah, and yeah, public information and learning all that stuff is, it's good to hear, and especially hear it from us. So that people understand what we go through and deal
Yeah.
with in that case.
So the executive assistant, Kim Dunn here, does the town crier newsletter.
Yeah,
So you could even have, if you wish, the regular section in her newsletter.
certainly,
Yeah.
yeah, we
So
definitely,
she's the lady who prints
Yeah.
that out.
yeah, we could send off our like monthly statistics and maybe a little
Blurb about.
blurb about something
Yeah.
that's come up. Yeah, no, certainly,
That'd be
it's a
great.
great idea. Yeah, yeah, it's a great idea.
I do need to find the 23rd.
Okay.
Deadlines.
Yeah, that's all right.
He's the numbers guy, so.
And we are aware of the fire service review. We're quite concerned about it. And we, like all the other 48 units in the
Yeah.
province, are members of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities.
Yeah.
So anything you want to say to that federation, you can, whatever your position is on the timeliness of the training or the time it's taking,
Mhm.
there is a forum where that can go, and the town can the town and the county together
Yeah,
can get after them about any questions you have if you're not getting answers or. So just as the police and every other department, talks to us, lets us know if there's a concern, we can ship it over to them.
And the
to get it
advantage of the
profile.
NSFM is that it's all the municipalities, so like
Yeah.
if it's a common difficulty and if it funnels through them, they have really good mechanisms to lobby with the government.
Yeah. They act like an advocate
yeah,
on these topics, so.
yeah, we've had a few meetings in the whole regard so far, and it's a huge work in progress for sure.
Mm.
It's a lot of responsibility on
Yeah.
them. to-
Well, after the collapse of the whole system, that's very
Yeah.
concerning, but you're using the international standards, right, for
Yeah.
fire safety?
Yeah,
So that's what you're using as so
yeah,
it looks like you're in great shape that way.
yeah, we're hopefully gonna make do for now until the province comes up with their solution, but. Cause right now, I think we have 6 members that seeking level 1 training, so right now they're kind of held back. Because they can't go to that next level, so it's difficult.
But at least the province saw that wasn't working and.
Yeah.
it's like, so.
Yeah, yeah, so it's a work in progress, just a long work in progress.
Yes, our CAO has something to say.
I just wanted to say that I am attending the Emergency Resilient Forum that's happening in Truro next week for 2 days, and I think one whole day is talking about the fire services and what the province is planning, so I might, if they share any information, I might have some information to share with you, so. And I know there was a webinar or something that you guys sent to me that was just for the fire chiefs and stuff.
That was last week.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know they're communicating slowly, but
It's a
So we,
huge work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I am going to that, just so
okay,
there will be, I will hear, you'll be represented.
Yeah.
thank you.
On a
So-
slightly lighter note than that, you mentioned about the 50/50 that's funding a lot of the stuff for you. So the effort that it takes to do that is obviously a good return on your time. Is that something that they could also promote in the town crier?
If it's coming from them
Yes, from them, not
in
us,
their section.
in their section that we're giving them.
We
that
can't promote.
we, as the town, would not want to
Yes.
promote people gambling, right? So.
What, I was so sure I was gonna win the million.
What is the breakdown of the 50? If you do select to say Annapolis Royal as
We
your,
get
37.
37% of the weekly sales.
Wow.
That is
Of
excellent.
our department.
Of your department,
Yeah.
the people that pick your
Yeah,
pick
Yes.
Annapolis Royal.
They're always tracking how many people.
Yeah,
yeah,
I always do.
Yeah.
no, no,
No.
50 of it goes to the winner every time. But then the other 50 is, everyone's gonna, it's like the tax on it.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna grab the tax.
Yeah.
Voluntary tax.
Yeah, I think it's the actual raffle box organization,
Yeah.
that's like their admin fees part of it.
Yeah,
It's still been a great thing, and it's
Yeah.
good.
like,
Without that, we wouldn't be able to do, like, for example, our jaws that we would have to save and save, and we have any extra sum, we'd have to put that away, just keep saving and saving, so.
Well, and when you were doing it
Yeah.
yourselves, the amount of work that went into doing it on your own was astronomical. It was funny and wonderful, the videos of which you were a star on it.
$2,000 just to
Yeah.
buy those, so that's
Yeah.
a lot of car washes and a lot of.
Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't only benefit us as being, oh, the fire department's got new tools, it benefits the community that we serve, so.
Absolutely.
During a motor vehicle accident, we're showing up with brand new,
Yeah.
brand new equipment, and
Yeah.
the people buying the tickets help purchase that.
Good.
Would you mind saying how much that Jaws of Life cost?
It was 50, David bought.
57,000. And that's just for 3 pieces of equipment, and then
Right.
also with the new breathing apparatus, 5 of those was 80,000.
Wow.
And I don't think
And we
people
have-
understand how
We have
much this
15 of them
costs.
that we have in service.
And we've had to replace those because the balls are expired and packs are on surplus for them.
Yeah.
We use them as long as.
We.
Yeah, we-
Get everything out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's a really good point, and that's the kind of thing that could be
People don't
published in the town
understand.
crier, because people really do not understand the amount of money that it takes to actually do what you do.
the prices have gone through the roof, like I
Yeah.
said, a bunker gear now, and we have 37 people we have to have equipped is over 4,000 per set,
Wow.
per person. And that's not including boots, helmets, gloves,
Every 10 years.
yeah.
It's only good for 10 years.
Wow,
Whether it's used hard or not. it's
Yeah.
10 years.
that's the max.
Yeah.
So every new person that joins, so those 7 new people that join, they all get bunker gear right away?
Not right
Well,
away.
they will for their level 1.
Yeah, they
After
have to
they-
have it for their level 1 training, because they have to have certified gear to use in the fire.
Do
But they
they,
have to get the level 1 training.
Yeah, they have to get it started, but before they do their practical part at the actual is firefighting, they have to have certified gear.
you said there were some parts that aren't included in a set of bunker gear, so do the volunteers pay for that themselves?
No, we
Okay.
do. No, that's just actual turnout gear. A
Yeah.
a helmet now is around 600.
A
Wow,
pair of boots is $700.
Yeah,
yeah,
gloves are $200.
sure,
And
And they're
then,
all 10-year lifespan.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and that's, yeah, when you start adding up. We
exactly.
try to break it up, so it's not all at once, so we do a few sets a year just to keep it in the cycle.
When there's those funny suits that you wear when you go in the water.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
really expensive.
Yeah.
Anybody else with any questions? Comments? So on behalf of council and staff, we really appreciate our fire department, if you know that. Really appreciate it too, and anything we can do,
Mhm.
and especially with Kim's newsletter, she does a fabulous job. So any stories you want to put in,
Yeah.
you're a department, you're very much appreciated by the public. So whatever we can do, we want to do it.
All right.
So
But if
thank
you
you.
guys want stuff like this every 3 or 4 months rather than once a year, we can definitely pop in even quarterly or whatever.
I think our new contract says that there's like how many times a year that you and I are supposed to meet or something from the department, and then, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want companies either.
Department.
So.
And we appreciate the fact that we have this written agreement between us.
Yes.
And others envious. that we
Yeah,
have it.
exactly.
But these copies, just for you guys to, just everyone to talk about.
Really appreciate this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
For
you.
spending time with your evening too.
Yeah.
Alright.
Volunteer activity.
Excellent.
Perfect. Alright,
Next one. Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you
much.
very much for
Have
coming.
a
out.
good night.
thank you very much, we'll see you later.
Thank you. Well, that was very informative. Do you have any public input?
I got bored. Thanks.
Do we have any public input?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes. 1 board foot of beautiful Nova Scotia hemlock,
Wow.
sturdy, engineered by Mother Nature. And used widely in this town as a structural element. Less than $1. So if I had a word cloud for this presentation, it would be 3 items: affordability, red tape, and unintended consequences. I'm gonna ask if you would consider setting aside the vote for the building bylaw public hearing rather, in favor of an informational meeting where more stakeholders might be able to feel more comfortable and in an appropriate setting, give some back and forth on the proposed changes to the bylaw. I hope that you would consider a couple of things, and that is, with respect to the section 1.2, revisiting the $10,000 figure in 1.21 and the $0 figure that's implied in 1.22. I wonder if there are folks who've been living in town and found a sagging floor, as I did, and crawled down into the crawl space, discovered a rotten post, hemlock, about 100 years old, and wanted to prop up that floor, give a little more structure to that space. Might have been able to do it with a few dollars worth of hemlock and a jack and about 20 minutes of work. Might be good for another 100 years. I'm worried that 1.22 will involve unnecessarily red tape. Staff gonna leak into staff time, and it's going to perhaps push some things into an unaffordable place for some people. There ought to be a number there, I think. Where is it? What makes sense? You know, like 1 post for 1 bit of sagging floor might not be necessary. Arguably, there's a point where some work needs some guidance from the building code, from a building inspector, perhaps even someday down the road from an engineer. There's some scale that requires those things. I don't think $0 or $1 or perhaps even $100 is appropriate to tie the hands of someone who's trying to make a valid but inexpensive repair to their home. So I think that plumbers, builders, local suppliers of building materials may want to weigh in on that. Electricians, it just doesn't make sense to me that it be $0. And I think you'll get good feedback in a public information meeting rather than be constrained by the formality of a hearing. Plenty of time for that later on. Thanks.
Okay, so procedurally, so
Good.
we have your public input and procedurally on our agenda for discussion. Would this be considered a new item or to be discussed with the building bylaw discussion
When you get to the item, yeah.
when we get to the item? Okay,
Thanks.
so we'll discuss it there. Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to our review of the fire rate and the referral to budget that you see attached to.
And so this request will just be added to our budget
the budget
discussions.
discussion.
And we have our date set as February 21st.
Yeah.
And that is a public meeting. Everybody's invited to join the budget, meeting. And it starts at 10 o'clock here at Town Hall.
All right. So,
So this portion is just for information and then we don't, okay.
so we're referring to budget.
As part of the area rate policy, they have to come make the presentation and the request. And then it gets, handed off to the budget process.
And they did a great job of.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate it.
Good. Under unfinished business, we have one item, which is change in committee of the whole and council meetings that we agreed to deal with today. Get our phones out.
So last time we had the discussion of maybe moving the committee of the whole, which is chaired by the deputy mayor, to a Tuesday night at 5, and keeping the council meeting the same third Wednesday at 6, because that is chaired by the mayor. So I'm not sure if you've had time to see if that would work, or if that's still acceptable.
Probably just go around the table. That would work for me.
Yes.
Yes, but could we review it again, perhaps in 6 months' time,
Mhm.
to see if schedules are?
Sure, can always be reviewed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so it will be so the motion there, you have the blanks, so it will be the first Tuesday, so we're only changing the council, committee of the whole.
Then.
We're only changing the committee of the whole meeting, so we just need the one motion for the committee of the whole to be on the first Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m.
I move to change the committee of the whole and committee of the whole. No, it's, I'm reading the title now. I move the council approve to move the committee of the whole meetings to the first Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Lovely. We've got a decision. That's great.
Thank you everyone for the flexibility.
You're very
Well,
Hopefully I'll be able to attend the.
well,
fire
we just had the fire
Yeah.
presentation. Well done, Deputy Mayor, how she engineered that. Wow.
I really like doing truck checks and I've missed every single one since I became part of the
Oh,
council.
man, God love her. You have to let her do her truck checks. All
You
right.
go through all the trucks and check that everything is not expired, where it's supposed to be, in good repair, all of that.
That's
That
important
happens
stuff.
once a month. And then the other practice is, 2 of them are, like sometimes we pump water from the tanker to the other bumper, and then we spray it everywhere, and then we pump it back. Which will maybe solve by having the pumper and the tanker in the same.
Brilliant plan, yes.
And then the other one is
In one truck.
Yeah.
Now we're coming to recommendations of committees, boards and commissions. I'll remind people that when we make a motion, it has to be by somebody who supports the motion. Second for seconding, and there's of course discussion after, so whatever information you have. You need to support a motion before we put it on. Anyway, you all know that. So, hearing that, we're gonna start with, who's going to start? The building bylaw.
I'll start. I move that council approve the first reading of the building bylaw number 108.
I'll second that.
All right, and now open for discussion. Who wants to go first?
So I have received a text from our development officer who's watching live. Mr. Knox. And any structure change does require a building permit, no matter how small the repair is. And the process, if council decides to go through with the first reading, the public hearing is where the public has the chance to come and voice their concerns, if it's the cost or changing anything. And that can be done at the hearing, and then at the second reading of the bylaw, if council wishes not to approve the bylaw, you have the chance to not approve it at that point, and we start the process over again. So you can stop the process today by defeating this motion, or you can listen to the public if the public show up and give their opinions, and still stop the bylaw at the second reading. So there's options. It's not like, just because it's in front of you today doesn't mean that you have to go forward with it.
Yeah.
And then we would also have available Ken to be here to answer any questions that would come up.
As the expert.
Yes.
So first Deputy Mayor and then Councillor McDonald.
I guess my question would be, the development officer said that that's what's in the bylaw. Are we mandated to have that in the bylaw, or is it, are the way that the town's just done it today?
So I was in the role before Ken, that was a long time ago. But I think that is a provincial building code thing. Anything structural requires a permit so that it can be inspected to make sure that the buildings are safe to live in. I'm not sure if that, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is. And Ken might text me and tell me that if I'm off my base, but yeah.
And thank you, Madam Mayor. I had the exact same question as the deputy mayor, so that was what I was gonna ask you. So unless Ken's texting you this moment to give
And I left my phone upstairs, so I have.
yeah, I would just say that if that is required, then that's required.
If it's a building code requirement,
And it is a requirement,
Yeah.
period.
Oh.
Okay,
Structural is a national building code.
okay,
National.
Yeah,
building code,
yeah.
okay,
I was just looking at the provincial,
okay.
it's national then, well,
Yeah, it would supersede, so, yeah, okay, that answers my question, I guess, yeah.
But like I said, he would definitely be at the second
Mhm.
reading if there's more questions and that we can answer.
And that's the February 18th one?
Correct.
Okay.
And the same with the dollar value. If you need to, the 10K thing was formerly in the building code. I think we had
Yes,
this conversation
yeah.
before, so it was in the building code, then the building code removed it so that each municipal unit could pick their value. Yes,
And ours was middle of the road, was it not?
yes, so
I
went
had
from
just
like
remembered Ken
$1
answered
or
that.
something.
1,000.
Some
had 25,000.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we came in middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And I should know this, but what's the cost of the permit?
So that,
doesn't it depend?
it depends on what you're doing and
The
what it
dollar
is.
value of what you're doing?
Yeah, I could maybe quickly get that off of our website.
Because there could be something in that of the cost of the permit.
And is there a provision for emergency repairs? Cause the point that the citizen made was, sometimes you need to fix these things quickly.
Well. It just stays in like, yes, so. Depends on what the permit is for. Some permits, the building is like. Some permits, the building inspector needs to inspect, like a structural one, which they would have to inspect. Would take longer. If it was other. Permits, like a sign permit, like we do those in-house, like, so some things are definitely faster than others.
If it was an emergency permit that was required, I think we've seen one through PHAC and we ended up having to approve it via email.
So the PHAC has nothing to do with building code,
With the-
it's
yeah.
the outside. Yes, emergencies can always be made safe. Before, like you can
Before
make it
anything
and
else.
then.
Make
yeah,
it safe and then deal with the permit and the inspection.
Okay.
So I guess it turns on the issue of monetary value of more
Yeah,
than
I'm
10,000,
still
how
trying to
that's
look that up.
defined.
Mhm.
It's defined, and Ken will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but it's defined as parts and labor. So,
But the
And
ten
it's total
thousand dollars
10,000.
applies to the first one, there's no amount in the second clause there,
right, so if it's under 10,000, you don't need a permit unless it's structural.
right?
Structural, you always
You
need to get
always need a
a permit. But if you're doing work on the side of your house on your own and it's under the 10,000, you can just do the work without a permit. Anything over.
So in the example given in the presentation, it would not qualify for, the monetary value would not be 10,000.
But it's.
In that example.
Structural.
Because it's
Yeah,
structural.
yes.
Yeah. So now
But if it was an emergency, you could make it safe, then apply. So you could fix it while you were in the crawl space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going now to the policies, because that's where it's in our fees and fines, or whatever.
Yeah, fees and fines policy,
Um,
which have not been revised.
That's the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
one.
No hope.
I'm surprised Ken's not here yet.
Right? Walking up the street.
Sorry, Ken. All right, so. So a development agreement, deregistration. Application for variance, subdivision.
So the point is, we could defer the hearing date.
Page 12 or 7.
Is it page 7?
That is an option to defer the hearing date.
I guess what I heard was that we need to have a public forum.
Mm.
Maybe it would be nice to have something less formal, but we can probably get to something. An opportunity for people to speak more quickly if we keep the date we currently have, and if we needed to set something else up.
It's true.
Yeah, so, a building permit is $100 plus.
$4 for every
$4 for
1,000.
every, 1,000, or, yeah. And then they're all different, right? So if you're a single detached of your residential building, there's
There's
factors,
that will
and
change for-
commercial is different prices and building permits and,
So we have a choice. We do one or the other.
Mhm.
We defer the public hearing, or we go ahead and invite public commentary and.
May I ask a question about that? So, if we deferred the public hearing, but kept the date for some kind of public consultation, what really would be the difference between the public being able to come to the hearing and present their concerns or ask, register their questions versus if it was not a public hearing and they did the same thing?
So we think if it's not a public hearing, there would be more back and forth, there would be more communication, more discussion, more explanation. A public hearing is more formal, right? So you get your chance to speak, council listens,
Mhm.
council doesn't respond to the public hearing section. Then when you go to the second reading, then that's when council has a discussion on what you would like to do, but there's no back and forth with the public when you're at the hearing.
And the
So-
current hearing is during a council meeting, right?
Oh, Ken's in his PJs, that's why. You probably didn't need to know that.
That is confidential.
TMI.
It's his fault for. But are his slippers on, so, right?
Sorry, what was your question?
That was about, isn't the hearing is during the town council meeting?
Yeah.
So it's prior to.
Yeah,
Right,
So, like-
immediately prior to, okay.
Yeah, so the public hearings, we've got them all scheduled for 6, and then
Okay.
the agenda doesn't start until after the public
Okay.
hearings, and then it goes.
so we
to the
really
second.
couldn't keep the February 18th date at 6 to be a community meeting for however many people
Community.
showed up and wanted to talk and have back and forth conversation.
No,
We
because
said we
we
could
have
not,
3,
because there's a council
We have-
meeting after that,
well, we have 2 other
Yeah.
hearings
that day.
that day
Yeah.
at the 6th,
Yeah.
right? I think 2. Right?
There were three.
There are
3 in total, so
Three
if
in
you,
total,
if
so
you
there'd
don't
be
do
2
this one, there would still be 2 that had to be done.
Yeah.
So there would be no opportunity for them to ask questions and get answers from Ken, the development officer,
At the public
at the
hearing,
public hearing.
yes.
There would be.
They can ask their questions and get their answers. Council cannot interject and,
So we listen, but they can have that
Correct.
back and
Yeah.
forth.
yes,
Okay.
with Ken
In
and
some ways,
myself.
it's probably better.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you,
Cause it's the expert.
Absolutely.
you as a council listen.
We
Yeah.
listen.
And
That
then when
sounds-
it comes to your turn to make the second reading, second and reading of
That's when we
thing,
get to talk.
then that's when you can ask your questions to Ken and myself.
Yeah,
Get clarification if there's things that you're still unsure of what is going on.
Mhm.
And then you have the decision then that if you don't agree with the current 2 changes in this bylaw, then you don't have to vote for it, right?
yeah,
And then the process would start again. And we would have to start at stage 1.
yeah,
Like, and if it's like, oh, we wanna change the 10,000 to 5,000, then that's fine. We just go back, start at first reading. at-
yeah, and
at
then go through
5,000.
the,
Yeah.
so,
The, sorry,
That's okay.
the, in the case for, cause you said $100 for the permit and then plus. In the case where there was somebody who truly couldn't afford the $100 permit, do we have a mechanism for providing them relief for that?
No, we have the same standards for every person. Nothing to it.
Council, you.
I was just going to observe that from my perspective, it seems like if we kept the February 18th public hearing, the public would still get an opportunity to present their information, get their answers. And in some ways, I actually think it's better that we wouldn't be able to interject or go back and forth as council in that session, because they'd be speaking to the expert that we would be deferring to anyways, which is our development officer and staff. And so I don't necessarily see how we would be better off by separating that out and having a different public meeting beforehand, because we'd still, the only thing I could see happening in that case would be that we'd have a much maybe longer conversation, but we would still be deferring to our staff and our business development officer for the expertise. We wouldn't be overriding that. I hope. So that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know where everybody wants to go, but.
Has everybody had their say?
Yeah.
In case of doubt, I was opt for the most conservative approach, which is if we need to have more discussion on it before we do, the hearing, I'd be for that, but I'm just one, not, I'm okay if I'm overruled.
Now, could the public just email Sandy or Ken with some questions before the hearing?
They
if
can always
can't
do,
attend?
but people get confused.
So
by
that's an
process.
invitation to,
Yeah.
for them now, this is a good time to do that, right, to Sandy and or Ken.
Yes, good.
Is there any reason to rush moving forward with this?
No, it's completely up to council which way to go.
Okay. I didn't think there would be, but I just wanted to.
Staff just, yeah, these are things just cleaning up and,
So what are your wishes?
well, you have a motion on the table.
We have a motion on the
Vote, you're ready,
Are you
you're ready
for
for
the
the vote?
question?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I will say nay, just for the sake of, diversity. Motion is passed. Thank you, that was good discussion. Okay, great. So proceed with it and we'll let the public know that they need to weigh in on this one. Okay.
We still need to do the second part of that.
Yeah,
so
So we're gonna do our
Yes.
round
Roundabout?
table? Okay, so you went first on that one, so then I guess it's me, cause I seconded that. If I can speak, I move that council approve to set the public hearing of the building bylaw number 108 on February 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we come to motion 3.
I move that council approve the first reading of the vending bylaw number 208.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I move that council approve to pre-approve appendix C of the vehicle replacement.
Oh, four.
Well,
Motion for.
council, we need the public hearing.
Number four.
Motion for.
Oh, sorry, I ticked it off
Okay.
before I should have. I move that council approve to set the public hearing of vending bylaw number 208 on February 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I move that council approve to pre-approve appendix C of the vehicle replacement policy so that staff can go out to tender in January and have equipment ready for purchase by the 2026-2027 budget.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move that council approve an increase in budget line GL 01-23237Z in the amount of $25,000 for the purchase of salt.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that council approve the first reading of the Board of Police Commissioners bylaw number 116.
I second that.
Now, there's a question, I'll just bring it up right now. It's either services or service. I've seen it used both ways. So which is it?
Police service or services.
Because it's in two, so here it says, in the text of the, so which is it? Services or service?
Please,
Service.
Service.
Service, no S.
Singular.
Yes, because the language exists that way in whatever text I saw, so that just needs to be clarified. Okay, great. So it's been moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Whose turn is it?
No.
No, I
No,
just did it.
yours.
Did you? Okay. My checking things off is not working. Move that council approve to set the public hearing of the Board of Police Commissioners bylaw number 116 on February 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I
Motion carried.
I move that council approve to repeal the anti-violence in the workplace policy number 2019-05 and replace it with the anti-violence and harassment in workplace policy number 2026-01.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
I move that council approve the letter to Minister Masland regarding the high production forest activities around Mickey Hill Provincial Park and Lambs Lake Preserve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I think that preserves
Big
wood.
eye.
Yeah, preserves wood,
It preserves wood.
including the wood from the presentation.
Yeah.
Now we have
For it.
reports from committees, boards and commissions. You have my mayor's report and I neglected, I'm supposed to inform council and the CAO whenever I have an interview. In this case, Jason Malloy phoned me and I did not know it would result in 4 separate articles. I guess there was nothing going on the province. I'm amazed. Four separate, it was one interview that he managed to. Anyway.
Going and
He's effective.
what are you doing, Emery?
Well, so I do not want you to think I was interviewed 4 times, it was one. But I guess it was a slow news day in the province. Anyway, so that was not missing from my report, so I
He
apologize.
makes efficient use of his time with you.
I guess so.
We've got someone willing.
So if there are no questions about my report, that's my confession. We'll move on. Chief Administrative Officer's report, any questions there for Sandy? Okay. The planning services report was straightforward, nice numbers, keep climbing, oh my goodness, people keep building things. The water report, again, I have to say it was legible and nice large print for me, I appreciate whoever's doing this.
It's
The
good for
Valley
me too.
Regional Services Board of well, actually Sandy and I attended Valley Regional Services Board this morning in person. We were shocked to see us, but we were there. It was a very good meeting. There were many complaints received about the lack of garbage pickup and the communications around that.
Good.
But they did confirm that it was a horrific situation for the workers who were there. They just had to call it for safety reasons. And yes, they acknowledged that communications weren't maybe what they were, but they were overloaded that day and just overwhelmed with.
I tried to help them a little
Yes,
bit on
yes.
Facebook by
You
asking,
went on the website.
asking good leading questions and they answered them and then I was able to disseminate.
And I
that
never
to
thought to
people.
look at the website.
Yeah.
But that's something we can let people know that if
Yeah.
things aren't happening the way they should, in your view, on garbage day, go to the website.
And they have a phone number, 1-800 phone number, feel free to call. But they did say that the storms seem to be happening on the same days on the weekly garbage
Yes.
collection.
Yeah.
And so they've been backed up for weeks and now they're backed up again. And even their Saturdays and Mondays that they were trying to catch up on were not working because they
Yeah.
were.
I have a friend who lives
right.
up near Kentville and she was still having problems since before Christmas.
Well, they sent a garbage truck up to Parker's Cove at night.
Yes.
Because it had been 30 days since someone
Yeah.
hasn't collected it. So they said they even dispatched a truck up
Yeah,
there.
and they were super responsive to me and answered very quickly, and just in case anybody is watching the meeting today, if your compost bins are too heavy to move or they are too full, you can put your compost in cardboard boxes and put it beside the bin itself on the next pickup day, and they will take that compost in the cardboard box just as they normally would from your bin. So you don't have to kill yourself to get it all in the bin. So that it's movable for some people who might have accessibility issues, yeah.
And the other thing for residents, if you see garbage in a bag going down the street,
Pick it up.
yes, please go fetch the bag in question, put it with the closest pile where, but yes, that would be the thing to do. If you're wondering what to do, that would be the thing, if you can, if it's in your power to do.
And the long range forecast has us having a very large storm the next Friday.
Yes.
29th.
Yes.
So we're being hit on the same days, which I had not realized.
No, but we had a winter where Wednesday, we had a blizzard every Wednesday for the entire 2015, the entire winter, every
Every
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, next is Annapolis Valley Regional Library, I heard Councilor McDonald.
Short and sweet. I'm going to doubt anybody has any questions because there wasn't much in there. Other than that, we did have our meeting that the mayor and the CAO and myself attended this afternoon, which was attended by all of the mayors and wardens and CAOs for all of the municipalities that are part of Annapolis Valley Regional Library, plus the villages that are part of that network as well. It was a closed meeting, no big decisions were made though, so there's nothing to present on that front. As a council, we will be having bigger discussions about what is required of us out of that meeting in order for AVRL to move forward with the decisions that they're going to need to make in the next 12 weeks, 12 to 16 weeks. May is when that meeting is, yeah. So anyways, it'll be on our agenda probably next go
For
around.
budget for sure.
Yeah, budget for sure, and for the next probably committee of the whole for discussion. But I think that'll be an in-camera discussion probably. That's it.
And our executive assistant, who's brilliant, has just brought up the fact that I missed the twinning committee, and there is a report in here on the trip to Pays Basque. Over to you.
I didn't really have much to add, except it was an interesting trip. We learned lots. I'm interested to see whether there's opportunities for growing oysters here as they do there. But more to
Yes,
follow on
please.
that. Can I give a brief verbal on the environmental advisory committee?
Yes, but before you leave this one,
Yeah,
So, there's a whole question about the, Pierre Dugas de Mont celebrations. And
Yeah.
I don't know, where we go next, or like, we've just left it. I looked into funding sources and I did that, but I've done nothing else, so. Any thoughts about next steps on that, like,
We need to get the twinning committee back together and see
Okay.
how many people will continue to participate, right? Cause it was more of a twinning group than a committee, I suppose.
Yeah.
In some ways, and, you know, I guess the other question is, Royan, although we got some fairly clear direction when we were there, some of the people maybe don't agree with delaying another year, so we probably need to talk to Mayor,
great.
in Lyon again.
Well, thank you for that. It's great. And, okay, so, we didn't have an environment committee report, but.
No,
go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah,
most of it is the letter that everybody saw and read. That was most of the discussion. Mike has agreed to be the chair again. I'll be the vice chair. We talked briefly about, planning some cleanups through the year. And there was one other, and we got introduced to Genevieve, I've forgotten her last name, the new clean project lady. So, and she has experience with oysters, so. I need to talk to her.
well, I'm happy about the next cleanup, because I want to go to it. I missed the last one, but yeah, my issue is always cigarette butts, so I can always count on
We
me
cleaned up a
for
lot of
those.
those. And Margie came and helped.
Yes, no, I'd love to be in on the next one. Okay, then now we come to Board of Police Commissioners, Councillor Septas.
Any questions?
So we've heard there's a new pilot project that the province is doing on community policing or something.
Oh, that's through the town, yeah, the Board of Police doesn't know anything about that. I got that. I like the look on your face, that's not Heather.
Shouldn't they?
No,
No,
it's
they
not,
shouldn't
it's a
know?
staff thing. It's something else that I've gotta do. I can't remember what it's called now. But I have it in my calendar, there's a meeting and then there's, it's a pilot project for another download that's coming from the Department of Justice.
That's what we're concerned about.
Yes. So I will attend the meeting and then once I have the information, I will share it with council.
Sounds good.
I did talk to Chief Kane and he definitely thinks that we should apply for the pilot. But we have to go through the webinar first and see
Okay.
what they're actually asking.
Well,
Because
at
I
least
don't-
you're in the loop now.
Yes.
Which you should be, right? That's why we have governance board. Or why we think we need, yes, we do need them. This kind of illustrates the fact. And it's about that, but at least you won't be surprised when it comes out.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder about the order of these things, right?
Well, if the pilot doesn't go through, then the board wouldn't,
That's true too.
right?
So
So
it's something that may not happen.
staff, yeah.
That should really reassure you. Okay, all right, great. There being no further report. And hearing nothing in there, I'll entertain a motion to go in camera. I'll need a mover and seconder.
I moved to into camera.
How's that?
And would